Guys, it's Sirenese and welcome back to another 2-minute Q&A Tuesday where I'm going to answer as many questions as I can about the coronavirus and the recession scare. Don't worry, I'm not even going to worry about the 2 minutes this time. I'm going to make sure that I answer all of your guys' questions so that you're not super scared and anxious and you're clear on what you need to know. All right, let's go. So the first question is, the government has paused student loan interest. Should I push more money onto the principal of my student loans? All right, so if you have student loans, I would actually recommend, and you do not have an emergency fund, I would actually recommend to make that your top priority. I would make the minimum payments towards my student loans and any other debt and really focus on having at least 1 month of your bills in your emergency fund. But if you are actually 1 month away from doing your debt-free scream and becoming debt-free, congratulations, I would actually maybe consider paying off my student loans and the next month start working on your emergency fund. So hope I answered that question okay. All right, so the next question is, the stock market is at an all-time low. Should I invest more? I would not recommend to invest more at this moment. I would actually shift my focus from investing in the stock market and focus more on investing in my emergency fund. If you have 1 month emergency fund, this is a time to start investing, having 2 months of emergency fund, 3 months, and so on and so forth. You want to position yourself the most that you possibly can, especially now that we're entering into a recession. If you are still considering doing more into the stock market, I would, and at that point, say maybe think about paying off debt. And again, your emergency fund, you guys, top priority at this moment. All right, next after that, how do you know we're headed into a recession? Guys coming here with the hard questions. All right, so pretty much we're out of the correction territory. The economy has pretty much gone below or around 30% from the 52-week high of the stock market, meaning that we are officially in a bear market. Now, when you're listening to the politicians, the president, the stock analysts, the news, the media, they're all thinking about and talking about the coronavirus and how it's going to affect us in the aftermath. And what they're pretty much saying is that they're seeing that it's going to take a while for people to feel confident to start going out of their houses and spending money again. And they're thinking that it's not going to be for the next 2 quarters. People are going to be kind of saving money and a little tight, and more towards the end of fourth quarter that people will start, easing up and feeling relieved about the coronavirus and all the stuff that's going on. And if you think about it, that's 2 quarters. That's 6 months of slowly crawling out of a bear market, and that's pretty much what's considered a recession. So there we go. All right. Oh, I skipped it. The last question, not the last question. The next after that is it a good time to buy a house? I know that a lot of people have been wanting to buy a house for a long time, a lot of millennials. I think this is the perfect time to start running through your budget and seeing how much house you can actually afford and what the monthly payments would actually be. And again, if you've been planning on buying a house, you're probably positioned to buy a house, no matter what the economy is doing, because you've been paying down debt, you have your emergency fund, you have a good down payment, you've been already practicing to live below your means, and you have an income that you feel confident and comfortable with making the minimum payments for your mortgage. The people who are kind of questioning if they should buy a house and take advantage of the interest rates are probably the people who are not positioned to buy a house at the moment. You're trying to take advantage of interest rates, and you're most likely going to be taken advantage of. So I wouldn't recommend you just jump into buying a house if you haven't done the right prerequisites in order to position yourself to buy a house. So again, the emergency fund, having good down payment, good credit score, and again, really consider we are going into a recession. So people could be losing jobs, having less income, and you want to make sure you're positioning yourself to not just buy a house, make sure that you can maintain the house and pay it off eventually in the down the road. So that's my tip for you guys. All right, so officially the last question is, with the coronavirus being around, do you think the HiFi Banking method is a good alternative to the cash envelope method, with it being all gross using cash? Yeah, I think using cash is not the right move right now. Even if you're wearing gloves, you have to consider the health of other people, like the cashiers at the grocery stores or at Target and stuff like that. They might not be wearing gloves. So I would actually rather do the HiFi banking method and just bring, my debit card for my bills and swipe it for when I'm buying groceries, the necessities that you actually need. Don't focus on buying anything extra or anything crazy with cash. I just highly don't recommend it. So definitely look into the high five baking method if you don't know about it. I'll put a link in the description about how you can get more information on that. But that is it. I hope I answered all of your guys' questions. Make sure you do share this information with all your family. I know this is a really difficult time right now for a lot of people. Very scared with the coronavirus and the recession scare. So again, just make sure you share this information. Follow me on social media. Follow me on my YouTube channel. And bye, you guys.